Hello everybody, welcome to IT Skills channel and welcome to our Nutanix series. In this video, we're gonna go ahead and configure the cluster. So in the last video, if you've seen it or if you've seen a video about the Nutanix, you will seen that we went ahead, created the cluster, and now we wanna go ahead and configure the cluster in accordance to what we wanted to do. So the first thing is first, our cluster is using the default password. So we wanna change that. To do that change of the password, we want to come back to the cluster over here and we want to go ahead and type in sudo pass w and then type in the account you want to change the password for. I'm going to change the password for the Nutanix account, and then I'm going to type in my password for type in the password again. Actually, it says here I missed something on the password. Let me type it again and then confirm the password again. I am not typing it right. Let me type it again. So that's our new password set for the Nutanix account. Next thing we're going to do is set up the password for the root account from default to something custom. So I'm gonna go ahead and change this. That's set up for the root account. Next thing we need to do is change the password for the admin account. Actually, the admin account we already changed it, so I'm not gonna bother with that one. So the cluster password should be set now, so we should be good to go on that. So we're changing the password. I mean, again, I'm just proud of the work we did to get this up on first try, healthy and everything. You see all this green is beautiful. That's what we were trying to get at it, and we got it. So yeah, so we changed the cluster password, the default password of the cluster. The next thing we're gonna do is go to the settings again from the drop down menu, go to settings. You wanna check a couple things over here. Number one is you're gonna go to clusters. You're gonna see the cluster is there. FQDN, you can just name this one ITKY 155.ithky.org. That's going to be our FQDN. We're going to save it. It doesn't like it actually. So we're going to need to change that something it doesn't like something over here. Let me try the itky155.ithky.org. Okay, so we won't do this right now, the FQDN. We're just gonna leave it. We don't have any storage to connect to it, so that's fine. The next thing is configuring the CVM. The memory is fine for now. We're gonna do the image later on. I guess what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the network configuration, create a network. So we're gonna go ahead to the network, create a subnet. We won't want to create the interfaces. This is all default. Leave this two alone. We're just gonna go ahead, create a subnet, and then name the subnet what the network is. So I'm just gonna name ITKY 125 VNet, and then it's gonna be on the VLAN 0, and then after that you're just gonna hit save. That is a network that we can use to establish communication outside of the network. There's no network switch needed. NTP server, we have it already. We don't need to do anything about it. The cluster lockdown, we're not gonna do anything about it. We could do this later on, and we can set up a new public key SSH. So this is actually recommended, to disable SSH login. Instead, enable password key access, or key access based login. And then here is other things we could do: file system whitelist, SSL certificate. You're using the default, we could replace that with something else. And ultimately, we could do a lot. And you can see the redundancy state set to 2, and it tells you what the redundancy means. That so if you set this means that a cluster can be ready for one disk or host failure. So that's why we have that. So that is ultimately what the configuration is. So next thing we're gonna do now is, as far as configuration wise, central configuration wise, you can look at name server. This is all my name server, my DNS, so that they're all specified during the creation. There's no licensing needed. If we had licensing, we could upload the license here. And then we could go to image configuration next. The image configuration, here. So we're gonna upload the images we have. Like we're gonna upload our driver. We're gonna also upload the Windows 10 or Windows 11 ISO and Server 2022 ISO. So we're gonna click on here. We're just gonna call it Windows 11 and select the upload file. Choose where the ISO is at, Windows 11, and then we're gonna hit save. This is gonna be real quick because our cluster is running on a nice, a nice enterprise SSD, so it's gonna be very fast. And we're gonna go back to image again. Come over here, click on image configuration again, upload. We're gonna do server 2022, upload image, choose file, do server 2022, and then hit save. Okay, come on one more time. We're gonna come back over here, do virt.io. It's gonna be 3.1 actually. We're gonna do the 3.1 instead of 2.1. We're gonna hit upload, choose, and we're gonna find that where virt.io is. So I've been, looking to download a lot of Nutanix stuff. So I'm gonna have to find where that it might be located. So it's actually gonna be on somewhere over here. Where is it gonna be at? It's over here. It's a virt.io ISO. We know I want to download the ISO one. Hit save. It's 323 That's what it is. So I'm gonna need to rename that. So you can see how fast this one is uploading. So it's really fast. So I'm gonna come back in here once this is active. I'm gonna change the name and that's it. So that way we don't have to, guess at it. So, and you can see the other ones are getting uploaded as well. We have an alert. It's just telling us that the system indicator warning. This is fine. Honestly, like I've been saying to you guys, there's no way you can get Nutanix 100% healthy. In my experience, it's very picky, and so it tells you, it's just trying to keep you in your toes, and it's really, in my opinion, it's very intelligent software. That's what it is. It just knows what it needs to get, what maintenance it needs, and that's why you get a lot of alerts. Some of it is severe, some of it's not. So this one is not severe. I'm not worried about it. If it is severe and you are working with the enterprise, you could get, help with that. In this case, I'm good. And you can see here, I'm definitely losing that green streak I had because my green streak is starting to disappear over here. If I refresh it, am I still having it? So I don't have it anymore. You see, I have that warning. So my green streak it didn't last long, but it's not a big deal. As long as we don't have a severe error, we're good. And he's telling us here that there's a cluster indicate there's one or more servers in the cluster will restart it. So that's just telling us some of the servers restarted. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty much it configuring. Those are your essential things you configure in your initial Nutanix node. You got your images, you got your cluster details, your virtual IPs, you got your CVM set up to the right memory. If you have locking on resources, you might want to tone this down to, I think you cannot tone down less than 32 gigabytes. So I could do that with a script, I think, but right now we're stuck at that, size. When I was configuring, I could have done this to 20 gigabyte, but that's fine. I don't think we'll need that 10 gigabyte, that much. And then here you can do like Prison Central registration. If we have any, you see your name server is fine. So that's all that you can do when you initially set up. That should get you up and going. In the next videos, we can do some advanced configuration and things like that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.